You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better.
Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the LA fires and just the fire department in general. I'm a retired firefighter from New York City, the FDNY. Okay, and we're known as being the best in the world. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know within America, that's definitely the case. So right now with all the DEI stuff, they're pushing people into a position that they're not capable of doing that job. So for instance, a lot of things have requirements that you have to fulfill to get that position, job, or place on the team. Just like if you have to run a certain amount of time to be on the track team, that's just the requirements. And if you don't meet those requirements, you know you're setting yourself up to have a team that's gonna lose every match and event. And why would you want that, right? So the same thing with the fire department. When they give you the physical agility test to do the stairs with a 50-pound vest and all this stuff, that was a complete joke. But a lot of people aren't able to do that because they're either not fit enough or not strong enough, or both, right? They don't have the endurance and the strength to do that. And you can't just give somebody a passing mark just because of the DEI requirements, right? Oh, I have to give this person this because of their gender or their gender ideology, their sexual preference, or their skin color. Because to tell you the truth, when you go to an emergency situation, nobody gives a fuck about if you have a sexual preference or what color you are, what your religious belief is, who you vote for. Nobody gives a shit. All they care is that somebody has arrived quickly and efficiently and is gonna help them. That's all anybody cares about. Nobody gives a shit about anything else when their life is on the line and in jeopardy. And plus, when you're wearing the uniform and you're at a fire, this is all somebody could see of your face. Nobody could see anything in a fire anyway. And trust me, they don't give a shit what you look like as long as you're there to help them. So all this political ideology stuff is just fucking ridiculous, and it's destroying the fire department because now they're putting people into that job that can't do the job. I'm sorry. If you have somebody that's 105 pounds and that person's not strong enough to carry a 200-pound person down a flight of stairs or whatever it may be, or pull them out of a car, they're useless for their job. And it's an impact to other people doing their part, because now that person's gonna have to either stop what they're doing and help you. That now all of a sudden, the weakest link in the chain makes a big difference and it all goes downhill. Same thing if you're in a fire and somebody's not doing their job, you're gonna have to pick up the slack, and it makes everything slower and more dangerous for everybody else. So nobody cares about your sexual preference, your skin color. Can you do the job? That's the most important thing. And most people who aren't in the fire department have no clue. Oh my God, everybody should have this job. Well, just like the Marines, right? The few, the proud, the Marines, you gotta earn it. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. Just like somebody who wants to be in the NBA. Not everybody's born that they're gonna be over 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall. If you're born 5'2" and you're a guy and you love basketball, good for you, but you probably won't make it in NBA, just because if they do put you in, you're gonna get destroyed because you're not gonna make any shots because everybody's gonna swat the ball out of your hand. It's just, we're not equal. Nobody's born equal. We have equal rights under the Constitution, but everybody has certain things that they're better at. And we need that diversity, because otherwise we wouldn't have doctors, lawyers, firemen, cops, any of that stuff. You know, so the stuff that they're pushing now is so dangerous. And then look what happened in LA. Let's go to the clip that this woman, I assume because she didn't say her gender, her pronouns, let's see what she says and if this is okay and if people should be okay with what she said.
She's strong enough to do this, or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Look at this clip, right? It's like, oh, is she strong enough to carry him out of a fire? That is an important question. Are you strong enough? Now with all that equipment on you, it could be 60, 80 pounds worth of stuff. Are you strong enough to carry that load and then save somebody's life? Yeah, that's a valid question. And then she goes, oh, what happens if he's trapped in the room, at a fire? It's like, well, he was in the wrong place. So what does that mean? It's not your problem? Anybody that's in an emergency situation is in the wrong place at the wrong time. But did they choose that? And now if it's a him and a he, does now, because of, hating men, make it valid to say, well, it's his problem? He's a toxic male. It's like he deserves, if he's not strong enough to get out of there, that's not my problem. If he could get himself in the situation, he could get himself out of it. I mean, who the fuck talks like this? If somebody's trapped or they're in a fire or trapped in a vehicle during some type of car accident, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter about anything. The whole goal of being an emergency rescue person, whether it's a firefighter or ESU with the police, is to get that person out of there and try to save their lives. You don't stand there and go, how did you get into this accident? Smells like weed, smells like alcohol. Oh, I don't need to help you. You must have put yourself in this situation. Or, oh, it's a fire. Oh, we don't know how it started, but you must have done something wrong to create this fire. So why am I going to risk my life to go help you? And if you're a man and you're stuck in the house, why should I have to worry about being strong enough to carry you? Why should I be worried about being brave enough to go in there and look for you to try to save your life? And the thing is, within a fire, just like you see on TV, TV's total bullshit. When you go into a fire, especially in the night time, you can't see your hand in front of your face with the most expensive LED flashlight, because I know I have one on my helmet. All you see is dark particles if you don't see any orange coming across the ceiling because you're closer to the fire. You can't see a damn thing. So all you're trying to do is feel around and listen to see if you can locate somebody who's in distress. You don't go, oh my God, that's a man over there. His problem. Let me go search if there's any female casualties or in distress. No, you feel around, you go search in a room, you try to see if you could find anybody. If you hear something, you go towards that sound and trying to do that in a way where you don't lose your place, because again, it's like being a blind person in a place that's detrimental and hazardous to your health in a way where obviously you could die from. And that's it. And if you do get to rescue somebody, God bless you, because you got to do your job. There's no way that anybody could see or anything. The most that somebody could do is maybe hear you. And if they could hear you and you could hear them, you could get to them a lot quicker. But nobody goes, oh, what's on the ticket? Oh, it's a car accident. Is it a male or female? Well, let's slow down. We don't have to blow the red lights because it's a man in the car. It doesn't work like that. Nobody gets a ticket for a cardiac arrest and goes, oh, you'll know for sure if it's a male or female and everything else, because it's trying to paint you a picture as you're driving to the situation in the scene where you could put things into your head to how to react better, not to say, oh, it's a man. Let's slow down. It's a woman. Oh, I hate my ex-wife. I don't want to do anything for women. Oh, it's a black man. Oh, I'm racist. Oh, it's a white man. Oh, I'm racist. I don't want to help them. This is not the way it works. You get a ticket, you get an age, you get the gender, because it gives you an idea. Maybe the person's pregnant, right? Men can't get pregnant. So if it's a woman, it might be a person that's pregnant. So you have to start to put these things into your mind, the situation. When you get there, you can react the best way. Is it a child? Is it a toddler? Is it an infant? All these things are super important. And anybody that has to call 911 for somebody or for themselves is in a dire situation where they need your help right now, where nobody gives a fuck who you vote for, what's your sexual preference, what your skin color is. That person just needs help, and your job is to go there and help them. And that's why you picked that job. That's why you were able, thank God, to go through the academy and everything to prove that you could do that job, that you're strong enough to do that job, you're fit enough to do that job, you have enough knowledge to do that job because the academy will give you that. And it's your job to stay fit and stay on top of procedures so you know how to deal with certain types of environments and buildings, whether it's a house, a brownstone, a high-rise building, whether it's something in the subway, on a bus, on a highway. It's like all these things, you have to learn all these things so you could do your job the best that you can. Politics and any of that other stuff does not come into play with being a true firefighter. Anybody that's working as a civil servant cares about people and doing the right thing. Nobody gives a shit about all this political ideology nonsense, this woke nonsense that divides people, separates people in a way where they hate each other and then they don't want to do things. This is not the way it works in the fire department, you know. And then also coming back to LA, which this is all stemming from, you know, you have to have procedures. If you don't have enough water in a fire hydrant, this is insane. This is totally insane. You should have some type of drafting system that if you're close to a body of water, like the fire department in New York, you draft where if you don't have a fire hydrant, you could suck water out of that lake or ocean or body of water to get the water on the fire. You want to put the wet stuff on the red stuff. This is the way it works. Why didn't they have any procedures like this over there? In the Marines, they have water buffaloes. That's for you to get water to drink, right? So why didn't they have some type of 18-wheelers that bring thousands of gallons of water to an environment that's up in flames? There's so many things that they did wrong. Why? Because these people don't care about you. They don't care about the job that they're virtual signaling to do. If you care, you become a professional and an expert in that. So you could do the best you can to help everybody, especially your brothers and sisters that you're working with, to help the people that you're there to serve. So all this woke shit is disgusting. And what you saw that happen in California is a product of that. You know, so there's no excuses. There's no reason. These people are getting paid way too much money. They're understaffed. Why? Because cuts. I gotta make some cuts, right? Defund the police, defund the fire department. I remember when I was in California. I remember I was in the San Francisco area, Fairfax. I went to one of the firehouses. There's only two people in there. The officer and the chauffeur. The chauffeur is the one who drives the engine or the ladder, and then the officer is the one who's obviously in charge. Of who? There's nobody sitting in the back step. So I go, how do you guys go to fires? We have to wait for other fire trucks to come so we can assemble enough people to battle the fire. That takes time. That takes lives. You know what I mean? So that's the cost of that, is people dying because there's not enough people to put out the fire and to help. And this is what's been going on since I remember when I went to that firehouse is 2010. This is 15 years ago. So I know nothing's changed. And I remember talking to the firefighters in that firehouse where they just took a massive pay cut, but they loved their job so much that they didn't, quit and go do something else where they can make more money. They did it because it's a calling. They're like, I know it sucks. They just decreased our pay, but we love what we do. This is what you usually hear in the fire department. How's it being a firefighter? Greatest job in the world. I love what I do, because you know you're there to make a difference. And it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with this woke ideology stuff. You're there to make a difference. So what the hell's going on at this point? And why is the public okay with it? If I'm about 240 pounds, if you can't carry me out, that means you can't do your job. You know, it's unbelievable what has gone on, and this is all the proof right here from what has happened in LA. They're understaffed, they're not trained well, their procedures obviously don't work. There's not enough wet stuff to put on the red stuff, which is a huge problem, especially when you're in California, when you're the closest thing to the beach or anything else. It's like, why don't you have any water? You know, so all this political identity bullshit is cost now not only property but lives. When are people going to wake up? Think about it.
One day, you will be old, you will be frail, and you will be slow. And someone will ask you, what did you do in your day? What did you do in your prime? When you were young, and strong, and fair. And you'll tell them you were a New York City fireman. And when the day is done, and the page is turned, that will be enough. How am I smart?